a smell that I love actually makes me sick. So there's an emotional impact on that.
It's like a nightmare. It's like a living nightmare.
You have probably heard by now that one common symptom of COVID-19 is the loss of smell and taste. Most who have suffered from the virus get these senses back after their other symptoms subside, but some report that they still can't smell or taste even months after being infected. And talk to me, how does it work?
So COVID is a virus which enters the body through the ACE receptors. And the high concentration of those receptors are in our olfactory area, which is way high up in our nose, and as well as in the lungs. The COVID-19 does not affect the taste buds. It affects the cranial nerve number 1, which is olfaction. Over 90% of perception of flavors, food flavors, comes from the nose.
I met with Susan Robbins Newirth, who got COVID in March and is still dealing with the impact it has had on her sense of smell.
I couldn't, you can't smell if you're burning something. You can't smell if the chicken's bad that you're getting ready to cook, or that there's a fire in your house or a gas leak. I mean, you can't smell anything, and you do realize a certain amount of vulnerability that comes with that honestly I think I certainly took for granted before this.
Well, so then talk to me about the progression. So as the kind of days and then the months wore on, I'm curious kind of what was starting to happen when it came to your sense of smell.
2 months later, I got hints of smells coming back. Then come July, so was that like 4 months after I got sick and I felt like I was getting better, all of a sudden I would get hit with this like off smell. Like, that's weird. Like something doesn't smell right. I need to take the trash out. I'd take the trash out, I'd use Febreze. It still smelled weird. And then I'd have somebody else come in and say, do you smell anything? They're like, no. And that was kind of the beginning of the parosmia.
COVID-19 can lead to complete loss of smell, called anosmia, but sometimes anosmia can turn into parosmia, which means the sense of smell has become distorted.
The parosmias are, again, distorted sense of smell, and those are common in when the sense of smell regenerates, because again, as we said, the cranial nerve number 1, which is responsible for olfaction, is the only nerve from all 12 cranial nerves which can spontaneously regenerate. So that's a good news. The bad news is that it does not always regenerate properly, and sometimes it regenerates in those strange smells.
Everyone I've asked to describe what the smell is, they're like, I cannot describe to you what it's like. It just seems like it's almost indescribable for those who have parosmia.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we call it the COVID smell. I think that some of the smells I think of are burned rubber, stinky, sweaty socks from someone who's been in their shoes for days.
After contracting COVID-19, Mariana Castro-Salzman got anosmia and later parosmia. She visited specialists, tried supplements and medication to regain her sense of smell. But so far, nothing has been totally effective.
I was just feeling so lost. Like, even though I knew the condition or like the name of it, there was no answers. Like, nobody knew for how long, if it was ever gonna go away. That's about when I started like smell training.
Susan and Mariana have both been trying smell training to regain their sense of smell. This involves placing a few drops of various essential oils in jars and smelling them every day.
Olfactory training is a technique which is not new to us. The technique relies on the fact that olfactory nerve can regenerate and that the brain has neuroplasticity. If you keep stimulating your sense of smell and you keep reminding the sense, there is chance and that the new connection, new pathway can reform. We know that the studies which follow with functional MRI shows that the part of the brain which was sort of in the sleepy mode, which is responsible for interpretation of sense of smell, becomes more active.
I smell it for about 15 seconds, like I inhale it, and I just try to remember the smell before I had parosmia. I do peppermint, lemongrass, eucalyptus, orange, tea tree, and lavender last, because it's my favorite. This is the one I can actually smell the most and the most realistic, or that I remember.
What does it make you think of?
It makes me think of, I would say, my life pre-parosmia, and I could trust my smell. Like, so since lavender is so close to reality, I would say, it kind of reminds me of that things are improving, and it's hopefully one day gonna be okay.